Beatz Media presents the Scoop and Score Football Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back here to the Scoop and Score Football Show, brought to you by Ball N Beatz Media. Spencer, what a weekend. It was a great weekend.
It was.
In a world of chaos, right? This world is filled with chaos anymore, anywhere you turn. But in a lot of ways, things still stay the same,
Like what?
Well, we're going to get into a lot of things that stayed the same this past weekend. Well, we have to start off with college football. But before we get into today's talks, you know what everyone at home should do?
They should like, subscribe, turn push notifications on.
Exactly.
All that good stuff.
All that good stuff. They should follow us on the social media platforms as well. Go follow us on Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter page. It helps out. It helps out.
For sure.
I think we have to start off, of course, going to Happy Valley, Oregon, Penn State, where things continue to stay the same. Look, Oregon, they had a lead. It was 17-3 at one point in that game, and honestly, it looked like Oregon was going to run away with it. I got to give Drew Aller some credit. He did lead them back. And they took a lead in overtime, and they had a chance. But their defense choked at the end here in overtime and second overtime, and then Drew Aller does what Drew Aller does best in clutch moments. He throws the game away, literally and figuratively, with Dylan Thieneman, the Purdue transfer safety, getting that interception.
Jump. That was a good jump. He jumped the route because he was going for some sort of wheel on the tight end, I believe.
Yeah.
Something like that, and he jumped it, and that was a good read by him.
It was a very good read, and Penn State does what they do best, and the Oregon Ducks, hey, at least I got that pick right, Spencer. I want to hear your thoughts a little bit about, picking the Nittany Lions finally in the big moment.
Yeah, I picked Penn State because I thought that, I didn't know what Oregon was. I know Oregon was very good, but I didn't know how they would do in a moment like this. And I got to give a massive ton of credit to Dante Moore. He balled out, and Dante Moore is going to be in New York if he continues to play the way he is. Oregon got a hell of a steal in the transfer portal with him. He is playing at the top of the level right now of quarterbacks in the entire country.
Yeah.
And obviously the Big Ten. Big Ten's got some really good quarterbacks this year. Give all the credit to Dante Moore. I was wrong. Oregon went in there, and they played a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game by both teams. Could have gone either way. It's the same thing, death taxes and James Franklin losing big games. I fell for it. I thought that maybe he would finally get one for once in his sad life, but he didn't again. And we're back to the same thing with Penn State, to where, they went all in on this roster. And they tried doing what Ohio State and Michigan have done the past few years, and trying to get a senior team that, has a lot of experience and wanted to win it all, and they still can. And they still can. Their goals are still ahead of them, but I can't trust Drew Aller, man. And I've said it time and time again.
Yeah.
This kid is not great at all. Every time I watch him, he looks like garbage. And I will give him credit. In that fourth quarter, he looked good. He made a really good fadeaway throw to get it 17-10, and then he drove him down the field and then got them to tie the game. But in the moments where it matters, he looks terrible. He makes mistakes. He throws interceptions. And his backup from last year is playing a hell of a lot better than he is in Bo Prabula in the Missouri Tigers. Drew Aller's Drew Aller. James Franklin is James Franklin. They'll go 10-2. They'll lose to Ohio State. I think they'll beat Indiana because they play Indiana at home. But who knows? That's a big game. Maybe they go 9-3. But it's disappointing for sure. They lose big games in the whiteout. It seems like every time. They lost to Ohio State every time except 2016, and that's what they have left to hold on to because they've done nothing since then. And it is what it is, man. It's Penn State. Penn State does the same thing every single year. They'll go 10-2, they'll make the playoffs, and they'll lose in the semis every time because it's just what it is. It's psychological warfare with Penn State fans.
It feels like it.
You know you're never going to win the national title. This team's not winning the national championship. The way they're playing this offense, the defense is very good. They didn't have an amazing game, but Jim Knowles has done a good job in his first year there as the DC. But this offense is terrible. They stink. Both the running backs, and Katron Allen and Nick Singleton, they look okay. I mean, you would expect a hell of a lot more for what they paid them and for them coming back. But this Penn State team they're good. They might be great, but they are not elite. And Oregon went in there and they proved that they are an absolute elite team. Dante Moore is playing out of his mind. And for him to go on the road and do that, and I wouldn't say his first, it's his big first collegiate start on the road.
Yes.
Northwestern, because Northwestern is a nothing. That was a hell of a performance, though. And I got to give all the credit to Oregon. They went out and they proved me wrong. I said they weren't making the playoffs at the beginning of the year. No, they're definitely going to make it, and they might end up winning the Big Ten, them or Ohio State or maybe even Indiana. But
they have a pretty favorable schedule the rest of the season too. This was really their biggest game on their regular season schedule for Oregon. So unless they kind of fall flat on their face somewhere, I mean, it feels like Oregon might
be like at Iowa or something.
They might go undefeated in the regular season leading into the Big Ten championship. You know, I think both of us thought Penn State would probably play for the Big Ten title this year, and they still easily could. They could knock off Ohio State in the horseshoe, which we haven't seen in like over a decade happen.
I believe it.
I mean, Oregon this week they do have Indiana on CBS, which is a top 10 matchup. It is in Eugene, so that's a very, very underrated and slept-on game. A game that, leaning forward, we don't have in the picks this week.
Next week.
It's this week. Oh, no, you're right. It is next week. You're right. They had their bye week this week. My apologies. But it's probably because I saw on social media they keep on promoting that game on CBS. They're not even promoting the game they have this week, which I can only imagine.
Why would they? It's Penn State at UCLA.
You know what? Understandable. That's very understandable. Nico Iamaleava, 0-4 out there in UCLA. But
he ain't winning a game either. UCLA is not winning a single game this
no,
year.
they're not. No, they are not.
They have a rough schedule.
So, yeah, Penn State slate. Yeah, they got at UCLA, Northwestern. Then they have at Iowa, bye week, at Ohio State, Indiana. That 3-game stretch right there, they realistically could lose all 3 of those. I'm not saying they would, but they realistically could.
Can't trust James Franklin, though. Man, same thing every single year.
Yeah.
He does the same thing every single year. He's like 1-15 against top 10 teams or something like that. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous.
It's like 4-21 versus ranked opponents or something. I can't remember.
He would I know he's not going to get fired because he can make the playoffs every year, and that's what it is. But like, I would hate this. I would hate to be a Penn State fan because you just know you're not going to win a big game. Your team always finds a way to lose.
The problem is they're always in it, though. That's the thing. They're always in it. They just can't close. They always look like...
It's the same story.
To be fair, Oregon was 10 minutes away from pulling away from it. This game could have been a little more lopsided than it ended up being. But, like I said, I have to at least give credit to Aller for the point of dragging this team back in it. It could have been ugly. Oregon could have won this game like 24 or 31-3. But Penn State did fight their way back, and they clawed their way. So there is heart there. There is that potential to stay in a game and to possibly close it.
Drew Aller stuff. I'm done.
You've got it. Yes.
Drew Aller's an NFL quarterback. I'm done with that. People telling me Drew Aller is a first-round pick. I'm done with people telling me Drew Aller is an elite quarterback. He's none of those things. He might get drafted like third round maybe. I mean, he shows signs. And that's the one thing I'll give him, but he is way too inconsistent with everything. He'll make stupid decisions, and then he'll make like an amazing throw. And I can't trust a player who I think can be my quarterback for my franchise if he's going out and doing that stuff. Right. And also, I want a winner as my quarterback. He's not a winner. He doesn't win any big games. Their biggest win is probably the Boise State game last year in the Fiesta Bowl.
Probably.
In his 4 years there. And it was a quarterfinal game. not winning the Big Ten, not beating Ohio State, not beating Michigan. Lord knows James Franklin just cannot do that. But that's their biggest win in 4 years was a quarterfinal bowl win. And then I also will never forgive Drew Aller for that throw against Notre Dame. That is something
Inexcusable.
I would have started for Beulah right after that. My quarterback should know from day one you don't roll out to your left and throw to your right.
Not with a minute and a half to go.
Nope.
You know.
Absolutely. In a tie game. Yeah. But,
it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Penn State.
Like we said, same story, different year. And honestly, we should have thought about this going into this game too. I think we both just kind of forgot and realized.
I thought James Franklin would finally do something for once.
Right.
Didn't, so.
Well, I'm transitioning here to the Bama-Georgia game as Kirby Smart is now 1-7 against Alabama in his head coaching career. He has 13 other losses in his entire coaching career outside of the Alabama game, but is 1-7 versus the Crimson Tide now. No one talks about it, or I feel like we don't talk about it as much up this way. Kirby Smart.
Coach.
They're
Kirby
the same.
Smart
Yes.
and Ryan Day are the same coach.
They are.
Kirby
They are,
can't
100%.
beat Alabama, and Ryan can't beat Michigan.
The problem is we play Michigan every single year. Bama-Georgia always seems to happen in the SEC championship game. They just got lucky the last 2 years here that they ended up playing each other in the regular season.
And their one win was that national championship game.
Where Jamison Williams went down. And Bama had the lead at the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to think about. Like, Alabama, I mean, even with Kalen DeBoer, they've come back. Ty Simpson looks like the real deal. And Alabama's not dead. Now it just takes one loss, and he'll go right back on the hot seat. But that's a big win for them. That's a win that they needed.
Yes.
That's a win that they needed, a credibility win. A win that Kalen DeBoer needed to just keep the culture and keep, people like, hey, we're fine.
Yes.
But, yeah, that was a hell of a win for Alabama, and Georgia has a Bama problem. Simple as that.
I'd go out on a limb and say I think Ty Simpson actually has played like arguably the best quarterback in the SEC so far.
When you think about it, like, Kalen DeBoer is a pass. He likes throwing the ball. He likes having a pass offense.
Yes.
Pass heavy with the quarterback. He didn't have that in Jalen Milroe. Jalen Milroe was either chuck it deep or run the ball, and Milroe was always inconsistent. Ty Simpson is a pass first quarterback who has a little mobility to him, not a lot. And he has his quarterback at Alabama. I don't think Jalen Milroe was the guy that he exactly fit his system.
Yeah.
And now Ty Simpson has that, and Alabama is the favorite in the SEC again. I don't think Ole Miss is. I like Ole Miss, but I can't trust Ole Miss. I know they beat LSU. LSU is just falling off, man. I trust Alabama a lot more than I trust Ole Miss right now. Ole Miss is 4th in the AP poll. That is nuts. Nuts.
We will see where Ole Miss is ranked in the B&B poll here coming up after this. But, yeah, Ole Miss, man, that game, LSU Ole Miss. Nussmeier, he's
my favorite quarterback.
Trinidad Chambliss. It's the best name of all time. It's beautiful.
I love the name Trinidad Chambliss. It's so awesome. It's such a cool name, and he's playing really well. They had a tough win against LSU in that defense. And he's from Ferris State. It's cool to see an FCS quarterback go from FCS to starting in the SEC.
You're going D2. He's taking a whole different jump.
Yeah, that's nuts. But good for him. And he looks great. He beat out Austin Simmons after the injury. And he's not looking back, and Ole Miss looks good. I like Alabama more. I don't know if it's just that I think Ty Simpson is better than Chambliss.
Yeah.
Or if it's I trust their offense more than I trust Ole Miss, because Ole Miss had some close games against Arkansas and Kentucky.
Right.
But it's a week-to-week league, and we'll see what happens. Do they play each other?
I believe they do not, but let me double check that.
don't know.
You can't forget about Oklahoma. I know John Mateer is out, but that
They're
defense.
not going to do anything without John Mateer. John Mateer is their offense.
John Mateer's their offense, but that defense is
They
scary.
don't play.
They do not
play
play.
Georgia. That'll be good. But yeah, they don't play Alabama. They might in the SEC championship game. Unless the Vanderbilt Commodores are there. That would be cool.
You never know. The Vanderbilt Commodores might be in the SEC title. We'll have to see this weekend as they take on the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa how real they really are.
Yep.
And if Diego Pavia can continue this absolute run. I mean, they beat him last year in Nashville. Maybe they'll continue it this week. We'll have to see. But the SEC is pretty wide open right now, and I think you're right. As of right now, I think you have to give the nod to Alabama, even with the one loss, because I think they bounced back and they just went and beat the Bulldogs at
Florida
home.
State has proven to be formidable this year.
Yikes!
I mean, they're formidable.
They are formidable.
They did just lose to Virginia.
The Virginia Cavaliers. How about
they're
that?
Ranked. They're ranked now. They didn't. It's not like they lost to like Northwestern, but yeah, that was a dude. That is the fastest. That was the most crazy rush of the field I've ever seen in my life. Right when the ball hit the ground, you just saw everyone dashing, and then I just see the Florida State wide receiver laying down, and then next thing you know, a pile of people are just running, and I'm like, is he alive? Like,
Twitter blew up. Twitter
dog
blew up, and we're all saying rest in peace, Squirrel White.
Yeah,
Squirrel White.
To
be fair, I haven't heard from Squirrel White since. Where has he been? I haven't seen him. He might still be missing.
Might still be down on the field there.
He probably is. He's flat Stanley'd now on the field. He's sandwiched. But yeah, Virginia, with the whole setup right there, because they have that hill behind that end zone. So all the students just cram in there. So they're all just pretty much already on the field at that point, just waiting for it. I mean, they were building up for a whole quarter, just filling in and waiting for it. And then you went to overtime with a crazy throw by Castellano, some crazy catch in the end zone on 4th and 11. What a game. It was crazy because I was out working. I walk in, I see the score on the television, and I instantly call our resident Florida State fan, of course. And we're on the phone until the end of the game, and the silence at the end, and the consoling.
Virginia is a formidable team.
It's a bad loss, but it's a look ahead.
But that's a bad loss.
It's also a look ahead game. You got to remember this weekend, Miami coming into town, and I think that could have been a little bit of the situation there up in Charlottesville. But what a win! Their defense was not good for Florida State. Virginia was able to do whatever they really wanted offensively. Florida State was not getting pass rush. They weren't stopping the run either. They were running all over the Seminole defense.
Shout out the Cavaliers, man. Charlottesville was a movie that night.
Oh, I bet it was. For sure. That's a bad loss. That's a bad loss no matter how you slice it. And let's see this weekend. They got a chance against the Hurricanes. And we'll have to see how that goes. But Seminoles, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. Ohio State, Washington. What a win for the Buckeyes. I think it was a better win than a lot of people want to say. Score line's 24-6, but Ohio State only had 6 offensive possessions the entire game. So
yeah, and they the first, they turned it over on downs the first time they had the ball, the first possession. You say 4th down, they got the first down, they didn't. Either way, and then you had Brandon Innes fumble a punt return,
right?
Which is that cannot happen. And I've always been I like Brandon Innes, but we need to get someone else back there, returning punts because it just seems like he can't make plays. And
we should have Caleb Downs. Right? We've seen what Caleb Downs did.
Exactly, Caleb Downs last year returned a punt, and it seemed like they should throw him out there. I don't know why they ever switched him and Innes back, but Innes fumbles a ball. That is inexcusable, especially when you are in Washington territory running the ball back.
It is great. It was a pretty good return too. He returned it from like midfield to about the 25.
It was a bad fumble. You can't do that. You got to hold on to the ball. This defense is. I hate saying it. This is the best defense in the country. right now.
100%.
They are swarming the quarterback. Defensive line is very good. But the thing that is making them most dominant is they are not allowing touchdowns in the red zone. It just doesn't happen. They just hunker down, they bend but they don't break, and everybody themselves, including myself, I thought this was going to be a close game, and it was for the most part. It's not like Ohio State went there and just dominated from square one. They didn't look good in the first half.
No, they did not.
They didn't. The offense was sputtering and the defense was doing its job, but it just seemed stale. Like nothing could get going, and it took a Jeremiah Smith crossing route to get a touchdown within the last minute. And second half they looked a lot better. Offense looked better, but I got to give credit to Julian Sayin. His first collegiate start on the road, and he made some throws and he was solid. He wasn't flashy, but the problem was they weren't letting him be flashy. And that gets to my next point. Is they need to stop with the training wheel stuff with saying, just let the kid throw the ball. I'm tired of these conservative-ass play calls in the first half because you run the ball on first down, you run the ball on second down, and then you throw a screen or you throw a little slant route on third down. Just let him throw it, man.
Yeah, that's true.
He's shown he can do it. He has a beautiful spiral. He's a very good, accurate quarterback right now. They just need to stop with the training wheel stuff, and they also need to stop with C.J. Donaldson. Just start Bo Jackson and be done with it.
I agree.
RB1.
I agree.
Donaldson's okay, but when you can't get a 1 yard on 4th and 1,
But Bo Jackson is the best running back. He's got the best vision, and he's the quickest too.
Yes.
He really is the quickest, which I kind of.
Bo Jackson, you better be good.
His first name is Lamar.
Yeah.
Lamar Bo Jackson. You have those two names combined.
You guys.
I'm sorry, but they have literally, whoever his parents are, conceived the greatest running person ever in general. Period. With that name, I just got to say it.
Better.
But yeah, I will say this though. I think the defense, because of how good it is almost the reason why the training wheels have still been on Julian Sayin, because they know they don't have to go out there and put up an A-, B+ effort offensively to win the game against anybody. They even showed it in week 1 against Texas. The defense, they've showed that even an offensive game of like a B- effort can win them the game. I think that this defense is just A+ across the board. Arvell Reese, to me,
he's gonna be a first-round pick.
Sadly,
he's playing right now.
I was expecting to have this kid next year. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening at all.
I don't know.
He might be the best. He's going to be the best linebacker.
Downs are on another level right now.
It's absurd. This defense.
He's so athletic, man. And
he's
so quick, and he's really good.
I think some other.
Is crazy, man.
The defensive tackles have really come on along. I think that Caden Curry has really impressed me recently too. Yep. I feel like he's been able to get home a lot more. This defense, it's special. The 20-game run that this defense has been on, even with a lot of changing pieces this season, it's nuts. It's nuts. Credit to Knowles, who's now at Penn State. Credit to Patricia, who's kept it going and really, with his own twist to it, has made it look even better so far than it was last year.
Defense looks fantastic.
Ohio State, they just need to let the offense kind of flow how it's supposed to.
You got Jeremiah Smith. You have weapons everywhere. They have not utilized Max Klar as much as I would like them. Max Klar is really good. Get him in the passing game. Get him going. I mean, they have weapons everywhere. It's just, and the offensive line has been pretty solid. It's just they need to get the training wheels off them. I think they will against Minnesota. You should beat Minnesota pretty handily, especially at home. But the game against Illinois on the road is where I'll be like, okay, are they going to change this up, or is it just going to be conservative play calling with saying, don't turn the ball over or don't do anything that could turn the ball over, and give it up for your and have your defense do its job.
Right.
Your defense is very good, but they're not going to be perfect every time. That's
sure.
it's the one thing you'll say, because your offense is going to have to go out there and do its job as well if you want to go out, win the Big Ten, beat Michigan, win the national championship, all that stuff. So
For sure. You know, it was funny. I saw PJ Fleck on his press conference on Monday. They were talking to him about how Ohio State's defense, they only give up 6 points a game or whatnot. He said, actually, they give up 5 points a game. So Washington scoring 6 points, they actually were above average play. So you got to give credit to the Huskies, is what he said.
yeah, and the Huskies had a great their Huskies had playmakers on the offense. Like
Damon Williams is the truth, by the way. I just want people to know Damon Williams is going to make Washington a pretty competitive team the next couple of years in the Big Ten. I think Washington will be in the top 5, top 6 echelon of the Big Ten, maybe next year moving forward. I'm very high on Washington with Damon Williams under center, and he proved it. He proved it against Ohio State at moments. He just needs a little bit better weapons and just more experience, but they have something there with Damon Williams. Washington's good.
Good job.
One more game before we get into the B&B poll reveal. You just mentioned the Illini, and they ended up beating USC 34-32 on a game-winning field goal. Between both offenses, over 900 yards combined of total offense between the Trojans and the Fighting Illini. My biggest takeaway is that both teams are good, and the defenses just was non-existent. I will say this. I think Jaden Mayava's probably a top 2 or top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten right now, the way he's been playing. It's weird. I take away more from this game realizing how good USC actually is, even though their defense was just not as good.
Mayava and Sayin.
They're pretty close. I think they're pretty close.
Yeah, I'm putting Mendoza at 1, just the way he's playing right now. They have a top 10 win. It's not like I can say they haven't beaten anybody, but Illinois isn't playing like a top 10 team anymore. They did go on the road and beat Iowa, and that's always a tough place to play. I don't care what their record is, and I don't care who they have trotting out there. It's always weird stuff always happens.
Yes.
And they barely beat Iowa. That was a close game. Iowa was winning for a good amount of the time.
I know Mendoza. People were mad at Mendoza for changing the spread outcomes there with running back the final play of the game and almost getting hit. Taking a safety, which if the Iowa dude got there a second earlier, maybe try and punch it out, and who knows what could happen there for chaos. But Indiana looks good. I think Illinois is still a very good team. They obviously just had a bad day, and bad days do happen. And Illinois is still a solid opponent, and I think USC is really good. I took that away.
We're going to talk about them when they play Michigan next week.
Yes.
That'll be a good game. And
it'll be a very good one.
It'll be a test for both teams.
It will. Do I go against Michigan yet again in a pick? I guess we'll have to see next week. It is in the Coliseum. We'll have to see.
Barely an atmosphere.
BNB poll. Here we go. See, I feel like this one's changed an awful lot since last week, let's just say. A lot of movement.
Talk about your furry quarterback.
The furry TCU wasn't great. Wasn't great by all stretch of the imagination. Wasn't fantastic. They should have won the game. Arizona State came back. Okay? But that's the Big 12 for you. That's the Big 12.
All right,
let's start with, this time, let's start with 20 and go up to 1. Okay. So let's start from the bottom.
20, I have Arizona State. Sun Devils are making their first appearance in the B&B poll. Had a great win against TCU. Their one loss came to at Mississippi State. Mississippi State's looking like a much better team than they were last year.
They might be borderline B&B poll moving forward too.
Sam Levitt's very good. This team, Jordan Tyson, they're good, and I think that they just need a win like that to get going again. They're undefeated in the Big 12. We'll see how their season, progresses. But for right now, I got the Sun Devils at 20. Number 19, Florida State taking a big hit. We said Virginia was a formidable opponent. They're not a great opponent.
No.
You lose on the road like that, you're going to get docked for it. Pretty simple as that. Defense looked terrible against Virginia.
Yes.
Number 18, Michigan. Michigan, they were on a bye week this past weekend, but they're just going to stay around the same. We're going to learn a lot more about them in 2 weeks when they go to USC. They play Wisconsin this week at home. They'll annihilate Wisconsin, which is something for another day. That Luke Fickell might not have a job soon.
I think a lot of coaches might not have jobs after this offseason.
Really bad. But yeah, Michigan around the same. Didn't do anything this past weekend, so can't really move them down or up. Number 17, Missouri. I'm really liking the Tigers, man. And they have a big game next weekend. They have Alabama at home.
Massive.
They have Alabama at home. If Missouri wins that game, you could have a case Missouri could be the favorite in the SEC.
Legitimately.
What you say. Number 16, America's team, my second favorite team currently, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Just barely got by. Just barely got by from Wake Forest.
Was not pretty.
Tough win. Should have been a loss, but you take the wins you can get and you move on into next week.
Yes.
You got Virginia Tech at home. You should take care of business. Number 15, Tennessee. Same thing. They were on the bye week this past week.
Nope, dogfight. They had a dogfight. They went to overtime with Mississippi State.
Yeah, they were playing Mississippi State. That was a great game, but they ended up getting the win. The Volunteers are going to be up for the SEC, I still think. When they play Alabama, that'll be a great game. The Volunteers can still make a run.
This generation just kind of figured out about the Tennessee-Alabama rivalry, and that's one of the more hated, vitriol, hate, just pure hate, Tennessee and Alabama. A lot of people our age don't really realize how big of a game that is year after year.
Yeah. Number 14, Iowa State. They don't look amazing, but they win. And I can't dock them against that. They I'm pretty sure they play Texas. Do they play Texas Tech?
Pretty certain they do, yes. Let me double check that.
No, they
don't. Nope.
Okay. Well, that's good for them.
That's very good for them.
They came off. They looked pretty good against Arizona this past weekend. They have a game. They have a massive game this weekend.
Sneaky.
Against a team that's actually playing pretty good right now in Cincinnati. That is on the picks.
It's a very, very sneaky game.
Number 13, Texas. Not really much you can say. They got a big game this weekend against Florida, and they lose that game. Bye-bye. Get out of here.
Yes.
You're done. Stop with the Arch Manning talk. Stop with the Texas talk. All that stuff. You lose this game, get out. I'm tired of Texas, and they need to. With all this talent that they have, they got to use it, man. Like it's ridiculous that it's gotten to this point. Now they're what, 3-1? Yeah.
Yes.
You still got all of it ahead of you. You still got your SEC games. And you're playing Oklahoma in the Red River rivalry without their offense and John Mateer. You should win that game, but we'll see. Arch Manning's got to show up, man. Number 12, Georgia. They did drop a little bit, but I'm not going to drop them too far. That was a great game against Alabama, two of the best teams in the SEC. I can't drop them a ton because it was a close loss, but it is a loss at the end of the day, and it's going to hurt them. So, and number 11, Penn State. Penn State was in a dogfight with Oregon. They were getting blown out. I mean, not blown out, but they were losing by 14 points in the fourth quarter. They ended up coming back and getting the game to overtime, and it was a fun overtime. But at the end of the day, you lost.
Yes.
And it's going to be an 0-1 in the Big Ten for them, and they need to regroup. They got some tough games after that. And Drew Aller and James Franklin allegations, they never end.
And they never will.
They never will, yeah.
Getting into the top 10 here, number 10, starting off right away here with the Crimson Tide of Alabama. This win could help propel them moving forward. They could end up getting higher, but they have to stay at 10 simply because of the one loss earlier in the year, and other teams are still undefeated. But Alabama, You look a lot better than you did to start the year, that's for sure. At number 10. Number 9, oh, this feels sweet. The Vanderbilt Commodores in the top 10, as they rightfully should be. Screw the AP poll and how they rank these teams. It's all because of logo and not preseason predictions. That's the problem. You gotta rank them sometimes based off how they've played. And so far, Vanderbilt deserves to be in the top 10. That could change this weekend. We'll have to see, though. But Vandy, you're number 9 in the country.
Crazy to think about.
Number 8, the Indiana Hoosiers. Fernando Mendoza, one of the better quarterbacks so far, probably the best quarterback in the country, statistically. He has been. The Hoosiers. This year's Indiana is Indiana, okay? Just got to let you know.
They'll lose to Oregon. And
what if they don't? What if they beat Oregon?
Okay, if
Spencer?
they beat Oregon, then it's them and Ohio State. It's them and Ohio State. They are on the same level as Ohio State if they go on the road and beat Oregon, because that would be an unbelievable win. That would be a culture-changing win. That would be a credibility win on biblical proportions.
What would you have to say about Kurt Signetti then if they go to Eugene?
Completely wrong. I would go on here and I would have a full-on apology if he goes on the road and beats Oregon, because that what am I going to say against that? You went on the road to Eugene. Ohio State couldn't beat them last year, but you did. You did beat them this year. That would be an unbelievable win. But they're not. They're not going to.
No.
I will. It's like 99% Oregon will win that game, because
it's Oregon.
It's Oregon, and it's at home.